You sound like Bill Maher and Nancy Pelosi had a kid and it came out, Cenk Uygur. And let me just ask you, though. Let me just ask you.
So just stop hiding behind vulnerable communities.
I'm hiding behind vulnerable communities.
Yes, you are. You're using them as human shields.
I'm standing in front of vulnerable communities. Cenk,
No, you're
what
not.
are you doing? What are you doing?
I'm in front of vulnerable communities. I'm the most endangered, Franny.
By tweeting at Elon Musk? Please don't help me. Come on, Cenk. This is so sad.
Francesca Fiorentini had on Cenk from the Young Turks to talk about the recent decline of TYT. It got super heated, and it was a whole 2 hours long. The conversation starts revolving around Cenk going on right-wing podcasts and programs trying to reach across the aisle and find things to agree on. Let's look at some highlights and talk about it.
And then I see you on the same stages with, and in the same rooms with, the right-wingers who are mouthpieces of said authoritarianism. And I don't believe that you are actually pushing back. Instead, and I think there's a project here, you're trying to find points of agreement. So what are you doing and why are you doing what you're doing?
So how it came about is when I was doing that protest run against Biden, I went on all the shows I possibly could, left wing, right wing, etc. And on the right wing shows, I was expecting what I always get from right wing, which is the Republicans are right and you guys are all evil and no points of agreement, just a bunch of robots, right? And what I started to see was they're not as robotic as we thought they were, right? And so there was like these flashes of like, wait, they actually genuinely hate Mitch McConnell. That's interesting. I know why. I know it's because Trump said he was bad, right? But at the same time, there's a second reason. And I know that a lot of people on the left don't believe it, but I'm here to tell you that I've seen it with my own eyes. There are actual populists in those right-wing hills, and they don't like the establishment. They hate the establishment. Now, they don't have the same opinions with us on social issues, cultural issues, etc.
Cenk correctly states that a lot of Republicans don't like the Republican establishment. He also says that they don't agree with a lot of the policies the left believes in, such as paid family leave, universal health care, tuition-free public college, and higher taxes on the rich. So I'm very confused about what he hopes to accomplish by snuggling up and being buddies with these people. I don't think he can accomplish anything by doing that. What do you think he can accomplish? Go ahead and let me know in the comments.
There's a left-right spectrum and the establishment populist spectrum. I mean, I now see Emma Vigeland defending the establishment, which is mind-blowing.
Ari, I want to leave that aside, but I just want to, because I really want to talk about what you are doing and what you believe you are doing. And I want to just explain, by showing, and I want to ask you what you think the goal is of what you are doing.
The left has some work to do in developing over-the-top media to be able to bypass the main networks.
Yeah, so we have TYT as a giant network, but we have a lot of great progressive and populist shows that are not part of TYT, that's in the left-wing ecosystem. I don't think that that's the issue. I don't think that there isn't enough shows. I think that there's a couple others. One, on the right, you guys do a great job of coalescing. Okay, so you do a couple of things well. You work together well, and you're more welcoming, if I'm being honest.
We're glad Cenk's here, right, everybody?
And a lot of people on the left know this as well. If you agree with MAGA 5%, the answer you get is welcome, right? Come join us, right? On the left, if you disagree 5%, they go, get out of here, you're a right-winger, you're a fascist, right? But if you push enough people out and you guys welcome enough people in, eventually you win the popular vote. That's what I warned them about, and that's what happened, right?
Okay, so there you are, and
Yeah, love it. Stick with 100% on what I just said there. I'm 100% right about that. So let's discuss.
Yeah, let's discuss. You had your say there, and you've been saying various degrees of that same thing. And I gotta say, like, I watched this whole, I watched the whole clip, and it started off, and I was like, this is pretty good. This is good. Like, pretty good interview. I like that you're sitting down. It wasn't bad. This moment, like, truly a part of me died when I watched this.
Wow, I can't believe that.
Yeah. Oh, super. Just like shriveled up and died, floated away into the ocean. Here's what happens. A couple things. He asks you about left-wing media and why there isn't more left-wing media. Which already, as you are there, in the sort of kingdom of turning points, is like That's such a dig. Like, why are you guys so weak is effectively what he's saying. And instead of pointing out the way that TPUSA has been bankrolled by Republican mega donors out of Chicago and many other places for years now, and talking about how the Daily Wire was funded by the fracking brothers, the Wilkes brothers. Now they're fishing for new, investors, whatnot, but that there is so much money on the right. He handed this answer to you on a fucking platter, and all you said was, you know what? You guys are really good at being welcoming. People just like you. Cenk, they've got all the money.
I didn't say people just
what
like
are you
me. That's very
talking
different.
about?
Cenk doesn't want to talk about that because he is also slightly guilty. He received over $20 million in just one round of funding by 7 different investment firms. His company also wanted to unionize, but he made sure to bust it up, showing that he was only talking the talk and not ready to actually walk the walk.
So I started the largest progressive network. I've given, dozens of progressives opportunities they didn't have before. I started Just Democrats, et cetera, et cetera. The minute I disagree, like 5% on trans issues or crime, everybody's like, right-wing, fascist, right-wing. Almost every show is saying that. Almost every show.
I haven't heard any show calling Cenk a right-wing fascist. They are, however, rightfully pointing out that he is slowly moving towards the right for some weird unknown reason. Cenk has the right to say and believe whatever he wants, but people also have the right to dislike him and speak about it. It almost sounds like he is demanding to be popular.
What the hell happened to us? And no one's allowed to disagree. We're now authoritarian. No.
Wait,
I
Cenk,
rebel.
can I just clarify?
I will never allow the left to be authoritarian, and this idea of just hating the other side is poison.
You know what's so funny about you calling the left authoritarian is that you think the left has power. Like, I love that you think
total nonsense.
We are on the precipice of real authoritarianism and real fascism, and you believe that the online left are the authoritarians. I mean, I don't know how to tell you. You sound like Bill Maher and Nancy Pelosi had a kid and it came out, Cenk Uygur. And let me just ask you, though. I really want to just dig into this idea that, because you're a fighter, man. That's cool. That's great. But like, you really do have a very, I almost want to call it Bush-like, Cheney-like, you're with us or against us attitude.
100% wrong.
Like, you just literally, I love that you're proving my point, but when I say this, you truly, you sound like people are either against you, but if they criticize you, they are not. And yet, here you are, Cenk, telling the entire right wing that all you want to do is break bread with them, that you want to debate with them, but afterward you want to go have a beer.
Yes, I do.
You want to have a beer with people who want to put people in mass deportation camps. They want to deport.
You think we're going to get put in camps? You sound. All right, anyway.
You think I sound crazy? They're starting with Chinese people. That's my fucking family, dog. Like, what are you talking about?
That's such an excuse. Okay, they're going to start with Muslims. They're going to start with my people. Okay, if they start at all. So stop hiding behind vulnerable communities.
I'm hiding behind vulnerable communities.
Yes, you are. You're using them as
standing in front of vulnerable communities, Cenk.
No, you're not.
Are you doing? What are you doing?
I'm in front of vulnerable communities. I'm the most endangered, Franny.
By tweeting at Elon Musk? Please, don't help me. Come on, Cenk. This is so sad.
This going back and forth about who's doing the most and who's the most endangered and vulnerable is so cringeworthy. Literally nobody cares, and we should be focusing on actual policy. Just so the audience knows, we're looking at 2 people who are very wealthy and will be fine during the Trump administration.
So I'm standing up for the overwhelming majority of Democratic voters and left-wing voters.
I hear what you're saying. I hear what you're saying.
Authoritarian sides of the left saying you're not allowed to disagree with the establishment. You're not allowed to disagree with the extreme left. No, I am allowed. I am allowed.
Hang on. Wait.
We definitely have a problem on the left where we focus way too much on the disagreements between us and let it stop us from coming together on actual policy. However, I don't think that's the issue. The issue is the fact that the Democratic Party currently in office is just Republican light and loves corporations just as much as the Republicans do. They receive the big money donations and ensure that corporations and rich people have a bigger voice than the rest of us. The infighting between the popular progressives on the left needs to stop. Cenk believes in the same things most of of us believe in. We need to start focusing more on roadblocking the bad policy from the upcoming Trump administration and less on the disagreements between those on the left.